Strange, powerful experience, the film, no doubt.
Shakespeare. Do you long to do Shakespeare, or do you look at your life and say it's something that was very important to me, it's what drew me into acting, but there are other things, and it's what gave me an identity early on?
I think that's exactly
I answered my own question, I think.
But you answered it dead on. You answered it exactly right. I did an awful lot of Shakespeare in the first part of my career, and it was what I loved, and it was all that I wanted to do, and I was always being pulled, asked to do movies, asked to do other things. I didn't want to do anything else. I just wanted to do that because it was like this coconut of a thing that I couldn't crack, you know, and until I could crack it open and get to the meat inside, I wasn't about to let it go. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know when you did that?
Yes. When? Yes, I do. When I did Margaret in Henry VI, parts 1, 2, and 3, and it was such a huge role, and sometimes we played it all the whole trilogy together over like 7 hours, and that was it. That was when I found my vocal ability with Shakespeare, and I found my ability. Because the whole thing about Shakespeare is a bit like being an opera singer, is you've got to find your vocal ability with it, and until you found that, you can't even begin to act it, because you haven't got the breath to do it, you know. So you've got to find that, and then you can start acting it in a properly psychological and complex way, you know.
But is there one role, that Shakespearean role, that you'd like to master, you didn't, that would bring you back, A, to the stage, or B, to...
No, I've done Cleopatra. You know, the greatest role for a woman is Cleopatra. And I've done that. I mean, maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I'll do it again. I'd like to do it again sometime.
Is that where you met Liam Neeson as a Shakespearean actor?
No, I met Liam on Excalibur.
Oh, on Excalibur, right.
Yeah, he's played Sir Gawain, and I was Morgana, and I had to seduce him.
And you clearly did.
Well, I didn't seduce him exactly. No, I didn't seduce him. I really didn't. Maybe I did. God. Maybe I did.
Well, for those, I don't want this to sound like an inside joke. You two had a terrific relationship for a while. You had a period there in which you were together.
It's one of my major relationships, and very happy. I saw him last night with Natasha, his wife, and he was also
so you're good friends too. You two.
Yeah, because Natasha and I have worked together in The Comfort of Strangers before Liam and Natasha got together.
Which was on stage here in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anything you very much want to do? I mean, I know you admire certain actors and you probably want to work with them, but is there anything you really very much want to do with this career of yours? Well, I want to work on the New York stage. I do want to do that a lot. I'm hoping that might happen in the new year. What, is it particular play? Yes. No, I'm not. I can't talk about it. But I would. Maybe A Month in the Country that I did in England, in London earlier this year. That's a wonderful role, one of the great female roles. Maybe that, but that's a big play with a big cast, and that's difficult to mount, you know, in these days. Much is said about this, and probably much. I'm not sure there's anything new to say about it, but it is always discussed. You know, when you think about you and Meryl Streep and others who have established themselves as very good actresses, there are not enough good roles out there. And is that simply because people are not writing them? Because that's a myriad reasons. Myriad reasons. But I always say that you don't worry about. I mean, it's frustrating and annoying, enraging that there isn't the work you want to work, but then work is not a God-given, you know, you're not, right. You know, there are a lot of people who find it hard to work, so I find sort of whinging and moaning about that sort of, you know, distasteful. But I always say that, you know, you've got to fight for good roles for women in life, and then the roles for women in drama will follow. But the real fight should be and I think mainly in politics. I think it's really important to get more women into politics. I really hope... It's happening in the United States. It's happening, but I'm hoping that before I die, I will see a summit conference or you know, a United Nations or a meeting of the heads of state of you know, the East and the West, and you know, you see the lineup of people, and where it's at least half women.
I would like, ideally, to see them all women.
Yes.
But at the moment, they're always all men. And except for Mrs. Thatcher and the odd head of state, but
Did you once say you left England because of Mrs. Thatcher?
Yes, I did leave England because of Mrs. Thatcher's politics and the way in which it was pushing the English, who were becoming very unattractive people. Having said that, she's a heroine of mine because she was a role model for little girls who don't know left-wing politics from right-wing politics or liberals from conservatives. But all they knew was they were watching television and there's this lady talking and their father says that's the Prime Minister of England. So this little 8-year-old girl goes, just it goes in, bong, it's all right, you can be a Prime Minister.
Also about her, regardless of the politics, and I'm sure we could find, there are those in American politics who clearly, Barbara Mikulski and others who have a different political persuasion, who have established themselves in a very savvy way for their political presence. Mrs. Thatcher, forgetting the politics aside, clearly established this notion of how of respect for her.
For her.
Demanding president.
Absolutely.
And her relationship with Gorbachev and Reagan and Bush. I mean, there was no
she
sense
established a sense that a woman could be a very, very powerful personality in politics.
She didn't shriek from power or shirk from power.
Not at all. She also significantly refused to encourage women around her. Never had a woman in her cabinet. She liked to be the sole woman in a room. I think she enjoyed that power as well. She was no friend to women at all, Mrs. Thatcher, only by, not by any of her actions, but only because she was a role model without any question. And I think also for men's perception of what women can be in politics. No, they just can't say, oh, a woman can't be Prime Minister because she wouldn't be tough enough to go to war, or, that rubbish that they come out with.
Would you stand for Parliament?
I don't think so, because I think I'm contradicting myself now, but
well, that's okay.
It's the compromises that you have to make to be a good politician, to be a successful politician.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. It's a pleasure to have you here. Helen Mirren is in The Madness of King George's new film, and you will see her again in Prime Suspect. We'll be right back. Stay with us.